Alright, so in this video we're going to discuss theoretically what is ISE Connect. As the name suggests, easily connect, easy to connect to the network. So what is ISE Connect? Basically, ISE Connect provide port-based authentication similar like a 802.1x. We already know about 802.1x. So ISE Connect is similar like a 802.1x central web authentication, similar like a MEB authentication. It's a port-based authentication, but easy to implement. That's why the name is also ISE Connect. So how it is work? Basically, it learn about the authentication from Active Directory. We already integrate Active Directory in previous video today. ISE, we already integrate ISE with Active Directory. So from there, they will provide session tracking information. So it means we don't need any sort of supplicant 802.1x for user authentication. Like previously in 802.1x, we configure window-based built-in supplicant to authenticate user, to put their detail, from the user login information. Here, we don't need such things. It means we don't need supplicant. That's the beauty of ISE Connect. It means no public key infrastructure is required for trusted credential. So no need of any sort of certificate. It uses the process called passive identity. And we need to enable this feature in Cisco ISE, which we will see in the lab in next video. This passive ID, when you authenticate directly to Active Directory, it will learn the information and will provide to ISE. So initially you will get limited access through ISE Connect. And later on, when it's authenticated properly, you will be granted full access as per the policy. It means it will use change of authorization. Cisco ISE will use change of authorization to change your authorization. Let me show you from diagram if I have. Here is. There is no .1x, keep in mind. No .1x required. No supplicant need to install in the client PC. No need of any software. So when user so it means you will say how it is work. Basically it use the concept of MEB. It will use MEB. You know MEB authentication. So initially you have limited access when you log into Active Directory. Sorry, you are not logged in yet, suppose. So you will be granted access of DHCP, DNS, NTP and Active Directory. So at least you can get the IP address, you can reach to DNS, you can DHCP server, and you can get the time and to authenticate Active Directory. So these are limited access which you will get initially using MEB. So basically it's using MEB, no need of any supplicant. Again, I'm telling you. Then what will happen? When you try to log in, maybe any employees, maybe contractor, maybe sale, maybe HR user. So when you log in through your credential to your window PC, because this ISE Connect concept only work with window PC right now. Maybe in the future they can extend. So when you log in with domain, in our case we have test and suppose employees. So when you log in, keep in mind again we don't have any sort of supplicant. What will happen? When you log in to domain controller with your username and password, Cisco ISE will get the information from domain controller about this user who log in. So ISE will retrieve user ID and user AD membership detail, and then as per your authorization policy, ISE will change of authorization. It will send and it will change your authorization from limited access to full access as per the policy, which we will see in the lab. I will show you there. Right now we are just discussing. So this how it is work. It means it require MAB. You need to enable MAB on your switches under the interfaces. So we were discussing here the Cisco ISE AZ Connect feature enable enterprise to implement identity-based network access without the need of 802.1x, which we already discussed. No supplicant or supplicant configuration needed on endpoint. AZ Connect is similar like a central web authentication flow. Start from MAB authentication bypass. Definitely I told you, you need to enable MAB under the interface. And ISE will learn about the endpoint location, MAC address, IP address via initial MAB session. MAB authentication we already discussed in detail. So ISE will learn the initial thing. And what they will do initially through MAB, when the user authenticate, they will grant them limited access, which I already told you. And when ISE retrieve the information from Active Directory when the user logins successfully, and ISE retrieve the information, then ISE will change the authorization and will permit you additional access as per your policy. Suppose employee you give them full access, so you will get full access. So this how it is work. This is the endpoint. Endpoint put their credential, the packet sent through MAB authentication to a switch. Switch change them to radius, we already know, and send to ISE. The user log into Active Directory, either LDAP, identity store, identity source. Cisco ISE retrieve the information from Active Directory. They are using WMI, either agent. Cisco ISE retrieve the information of this user, and as per your authorization policy, Cisco ISE will send another change of authorization, and they will change the authorization of this user to permit additional access as per your policy, maybe full access. So it means there are two type of concept. One is active and the other one is passive. So in Cisco AZ Connect, we are using the concept of passive authentication. This is an endpoint. It's login to Active Directory. When it's logged in, ISE retrieve the information from Active Directory, and ISE update, and as per the authorization policy, it send the change of authorization to NAT, and NAT send and it authorize them as per authorization policy. So this how it is work. So it means there are two concepts, passive ID as well, and AZ Connect. So it's using this feature, and I already told you about this one, and I already told you about AZ Connect process flow, how it is work. I already explained you, but it's here as well. The switches configure for MAB. Definitely you need to configure your switch interfaces for MAB authentication as we configured previously. Then which send the authentication request to PSN. It will send the request to PSN. PSN reply with limited access. We already discussed this. And allow the user to authenticate with Active Directory. PSN will provide this user that okay, you can reach to DHCP, you can reach to Active Directory, you can reach to DNS to get the basic information. And when the user get the basic information, client forward the information about MAP auth and radius accounting start and stop MNT because the job of MNT to start the accounting, the user login and log off till login to log off, they will get all the information. So the PSN forward WMI authentication event to MNT. So when the data is collected, so MNT change of authorization request is sent to PSN, and PSN send the change of authorization to Cisco switch, and the user will be reevaluated and it will be authorized as per policy, and it will be granted more access. So this the flow how it is works Cisco AZ Connect. Right now theoretically is so difficult to understand, but when we do the lab you will get the idea how it is work. So this is the process I already told you theoretically, and this change of authorization has been sent to grant them more access. So in shortcut if we say, so there are another concept is using passive ID feature. So passive ID is a feature to gather user to IP mapping information with or without a .1x. That's why AZ Connect is using passive ID feature. So it means passive ID gather information from Microsoft Active Directory environment using Microsoft Window Management Interface WMI or agent. We can use agent as well to get the information. And then AZ Connect is an option for enterprise who want to authenticate, use before grant access but not want to utilize .1x. So it means AZ Connect is an option for enterprise network if they want to authenticate user and they don't want to use .1x. So they have an option to use AZ Connect method. I know there is some advantages and disadvantages of AZ Connect. Like AZ Connect, it doesn't require any supplicant. No need of configure any sort of supplicant configuration. No need of PKI. And change of authorization is done when the user is authenticated. So it means you can use AZ Connect as a fallback as well. Maybe in your mind that can we configure .1x and AZ Connect on the same interface? Yes. So you can configure them as a backup solution as well. So this was AZ Connect and how it is work. Hopefully in next video we will see how we can configure them in Cisco ISE and how we can use them this AZ Connect feature. Okay.